from the 21st to 25th. We'll have here veterans that are going to be attending. We'll have resources from Calvin to AIDS, DMH, so there'll be a lot of veterans.
Awesome. I'm gonna have you pass down to SC2. Anyone from SC2?
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Sam, I'm the program manager for Providing Disney, which is where we are currently now. Most of the barriers that we're facing related are housing barriers, but more so systematic and having to move a lot of veterans in certain unsafe areas, trying to get them placed in different areas, because of the that they're in. And it's been a little bit harder. Sometimes people have mental health issues that have been training, which makes it harder for them to remain in places like the tiny home that left the lake. A lot of times we've been taking veterans to the VADR and they've just had to get released. So that's another issue that we're having, veterans getting released and able to get released. Another one is at the tiny home, we've been able to place a lot of people, but they ask the veterans to leave at 8 a.m. and come back at 2:30, hoping that there is one available. That's just not sustainable, especially with veterans who have disabilities. So those are, we've been dealing with a lot of those lately, including this morning. So it's been really hard because we're taking them from one place, telling them we're going to help them, and now we have to move them to multiple places before we're able to come into housing. So it's really frustrating to have to that. On a positive note, we have a fishing trip coming up on the 20th, which is exciting. That'll be our first. We have a whole event in June. Next week also we have the LAVC Air Force Base. So if you guys are able to get on base, there's an event on the 21st going on there. It's going to be really fun, starting off with a 5K. And then we will also be present at tomorrow's with you guys at DMH. And that's it for SC2.
Awesome. Pass down to SC3.
All right, good morning, everybody. I'm Rothschild, one of the supervisors for District 3. The updates that we have for our office is that currently for the month of April 2026, total referrals that we received was 60. Referrals sent to CBOs, so U.S. organizations 22, and referrals to that office 36. Currently, total cases that we have this moment as of May 10th, that's or May 11th, that's the first was a total of 231. Top 5 services that are off that have been currently receiving. First one will be individual and family support with a total of 60. Income support, which is second at 2. Benefit navigation, 30. Number 3, housing and shelter, number 4, and transportation around the top 5. As far as events that we have on 25th of May, we have the walk to remember to the National Cemetery, which will start the seminar here. Right now, our vehicles currently getting referrals for the e-waste for students. And I believe that's pretty much it. So the one that we have in store for the summertime in I would say July with this fall tournament. So we're currently getting, but we're trying to get it situated, trying to see how many we can get the roll at West LA. Now we're going to try to do that at the Brentwood schools or at the UCLA softball field. Yeah. Other than that, I sit on our end. I sit on to Service District 4.
Good morning. My name is Lou Adello. I am a small leader at SD4. Our top cases, our top 3, our cases are individual, housing support, number of family, individual family, 30, and transportation. 10 years personal and temporary house. They don't want to. They're just comfortable where they're at. So, we have the resources out there to them. We give it to them, present it to them. It's their yeah. I don't want to. There are out there. There are opportunities out there. We just we really start to engage with them. And other than that, but don't understand, or maybe they don't want to move. You know, cases with the individuals is they're just happy where they're at. They just want to have, not to put it in a negative home, they want to there was. And so the change in the channel, it's a good thing, it's a good thing, but our cases, we came out at 13, our results. That 20%, 37, so you know, we went along good. Our results, he's not a part, he's doing a great job. So he's like, well, so that's it much.
No message back today. With that, so we have no other hand districts and no other reports. We'll do quick stand up before we go into community announcements. We do some working group updates. Any working groups want to share what they're connected on or what they're working on, or if they have any interest here today.
Yeah, your homeless and housing working group will have a discussion on the new LA County Urban Housing Creation Program directly from the people who got the program started.
The working groups, we want to introduce the new leaders for women vets.
So I know that our veterans working group was on hold because we were looking for leadership to take on, so we did leader in that group. Taylor is parking, so she'll be the beautiful one walk in. The other one is still ready. Still
Before I'm in our first section, I recommend that consensual hour on the West LA Campus Agreement Monday. This has been on the way to outreach, investment support.
Any other groups? Going once, going twice. All right, so now we will put it up to a sound off. So if this is anyone that wants to make an announcement, or right, I think this is where we and why we do this engagement, looking at barriers and success. What are some of the barriers we're experiencing, and is there anybody else in this room that support us? So come on up. I'm gonna have people line up, and then we'll sound off. So again, just go ahead and line up, and we'll make sure that. Nick will walk.
Hey, you don't have to come up, I'll come later.
One of y'all.
Christina Watson, working group, my next orientation is June 6th, our pre-construction training program to help people get into the union. Guys, if you are interested, on our application. Interested, take one. Otherwise, I did just want to mention with FIFA World Cup, with the Super Bowl, with the Olympics, Paralympics. Those of you that are women and veterans, this is a really good time to steer them towards construction. The past 2 years, the line forward into this is going to be stupid and ridiculous. And if you need to stone help them get back on their feet, it's some money and figure a few things out.
Hello, everyone. My name is Phyllis Miller. Many of you know me for Snack and we know us for 13 years. June 9th month is our 13th anniversary. Second is that as a lifelong artist, where I work hard to empower the community, which started in PC and related conditions, because artists, as far as artists concerned, is not a luxury, it's an essential. And right now, I'm in the middle of a Johnny Depp test. It's an art contest created by the actor Johnny Depp. a $25,000 cash prize. Where I was single entrepreneur, where I'm using the funds to expand. I lost 4 grants from the NEA thanks to this current administration. And because we want to fight to preserve the usage of art, I'm going to this contest. This is a free vote, so you would all raise me with a vote. I'm on my phone to, for you to vote. This would be a big help. And then this Thursday, thanks to Kathleen Ellison of the Art Institute and George Chaz of the LA Cultural Affairs, I will have art on exhibit supporting the veteran artists at the Taco Theater in art. I have information about that. So through art, I empower the community. And if the moment of your time, there's so many ways that you can support, please interact with me because I'm all about art to empower the veteran community. Thank you.
Any other carriers?
Hi, I'm Carl Reisinger. I work for CJP. Several things, we've been able to get a lot of veterans out of jail, back into the community, or at least into living facilities and through diversion. But one of the barriers that I'm coming across, and work miracles, is a lot of these veterans, when they get incarcerated, their problems, etc. And they can only be held for a certain period of time. And a lot of these people are homeless and have a emergency contact and don't have their belongings for them. So barriers on running across is having somebody go share their belongings, be it put into wherever they go. So as I say, you're opinion, because we don't have insurance, we can't cover us. So everybody knows, anybody who can handle that, I'm an advocate for these incarcerated veterans, it would really be helpful. Thank you.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Blake News, KBS County AJCC, Navy veteran. As you guys know, we have an upcoming out there at Buffalo Patriotic Hall on Thursday, May 28th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Quite a number of reporters are registered and we're pouring in. We need your help with them. Veterans, always a great page, better and greater voucher with a lot of these resources for employment, all kinds of good stuff. So we're going to have stuff there today. Thursday the 28th. Lunch will provide it. It's on Instagram, on Eventbrite. If you have any questions, come find me. My name is Leslie and KBS SoCal. That is.
Program manager. Just wanted to also acknowledge there's a Women Veteran Tea Party occurring May 29th in Pasadena, held by JS and our partners, JS team to put this on. So if you have women veterans interested, I have a flyer. I'll probably get it to the link that was provided for.
Tea party.
My name is Daniel Campbell, and I'm trying to slow down so next information. I served on the flyer for tryouts, all veterans. And some veterans are full-place free. We're up to the American team. I'm trying to build up the American Legion brand. Once again, it's a very highly brand with the youth athletics explosion. So what I'm trying to do is build and then when we chase with those things, we're able to look at the veterans. And I don't know about you guys, but I know, so I wouldn't ask for help nor seek it. And I was in the ag one myself, and I was that's the mission of the government, veterans with service. And then the last thing is we're going to have that tryout later. It's open to everybody. We're recently both veteran and non-veteran, but the veterans get preference on scholarships. Still be no class to them. So thanks for the time. Appreciate it. There's a flyer up on the top of the tryout area that's in Santa Monica, California at Clover Park Main Field. And the ages are between 15 and 19 years. And then we're working on lowering the ages to get other categories in. So we're working with American Legion, but also we're working with Pony International so that we can, start that up.
Hi everyone, I'm Carrie McCoy. It's been a little bit since I've been here, so I just wanted to read you something to make sure you guys have this information. I work for Veterans Upward Bound in San Fernando, Antelope Valley, and Santa Clarita area. And what that is if you have a veteran trying to navigate education benefits or and how to go to school, whatever they go to as long as in those areas, we can support them and help them understand how to get their benefits, how to navigate their needs, also schools to go to, how to apply, all have us at the table.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I don't necessarily have, what you share, but a little bit. Not only do I work for college meetings, but I represent the California Community Health System, Region 6, with the 8 community colleges, and we saw significant shift in our population last year. Right? And I think it's important to note, especially with all the veteran service organizations, that is out from the military population in our community right now. So the shift was, I saw a lot of ERDs, constitution of 15%. And that we started 600, so we had like 900 that was made for the switching from chapter 3 to 4 to chapter 31. And these students, as you know, have to be service connected. That means that they have some autonomy. What we try to do is partner with the veteran organization to provide those services outside of education. So if you have an organization for veterans, don't forget about the community culture. Other significant within the female population. So a lot more dependents. Last year, our school was about 30%. At other schools, it was even greater than that. And what's new is a lot more servicemen are getting service connected. So how that here, they just need a 0%. And man, it's really food. But we try to provide because of the really great education. A lot of the veterans forces don't have a large staff. They really need the community partnership to provide food for people.
We got an increase in veterans, unique, expand, it's a big amount. It requires a whole new need to services.
We really want to, it's we want to help with it, get ready, and we also want to help them. And something that has a what is roll out that are not for school. So that's what once a week we have can't come to so that we're the largest organization. This really out there on the what we try to do is explain these to them. If we just say, oh, go to them, guess what? You're not gonna make it up, right? Or we bring them over to do something. So we really need those, that, yeah, up those forward.
Hey, everybody, my name is Peter DeChico. I'm a veteran coordinator. I've been working with VA for the last 11 years. If you know anybody that has or needs help with mental health issues, we are a support system to the Mission Act. We're a community care provider. So if a veteran has to wait for an appointment, especially if they have suicide, PTSD, trauma, they go to quickly within a few days. And we can help them navigate through that process. Secondly, I'm also the producer of the MV Awards. I don't know if you've heard about it. It's the Military Veteran Entertainment Awards on May 23rd. Dennis Quaid is going to be there. If you picture the Oscars, but it involves the military and that. So a veteran actor, member that's produced for a film. This is the place to be. They're going to have awards, carpet. They have a huge discount for veterans. And if you go to MVAwards.org, you got to take a look at it. It's a really exciting event. It's 650 military members here. Red carpet. They're going to have a podium. And here of the Space Force Air Force Base is going to be a lot of it. We hope to see you there. Thank you.
My name is Michelle. I'm with the State Academy. Inspiration for the next, the state have, training this, for security officer, not security guard. And I'm connected with two major employers that the salaries would be $45 to start. And he's only 100 really can go work. So these veterans can have jobs and still they can get a certificate. And those certifications takes about 2 weeks. So if we have veterans, we are prepared. There's no hospital for veterans. They have got immediately. We brought this here. This is perfect. I'm getting reputable roles out here now. Okay, thank you very much.
I would start here. If you wanted Robert Callahan, you give us some reading. I'd like to piggyback on Miss Miller here. Like I said, she's done an honest, she done a great for the veterans. And some of our, on the table here, it's right here, it's on my heart. Called price of treatment. Okay. This is one of our called price of treatment. And it shows like the people in the park every day having a great time up at the top. Below. All the time, like there. You see old man, fiddle, the day, but from the time he's doing the combat. I watched the name was Bob. He called it. I said, that's the best place to treat. Those who never served, they don't understand. You're not entitled to that. Live that. Big on this shit. Just to clarify, are you selling this piece for?
Yes.
Okay, so that part is, sorry.
It's retail fee, but from today, 5 to 6:50, and it's ideal for the next Memorial Day, which is a few weeks away. So if you have an event, get it free and perfect, thing, digital settlement. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Jake Walker. Good to see you guys. Gary Sneeze says hello. We have been doing a national tour, Brothers at War, Brothers at War seminars across the country. This year we get to do 45. And I was looking at it under, I'd love to Los Angeles on the 25th of July. The Ronald Reagan Press Library hosted us last Veterans Day. We were on location and stream feature film. It's in 4K surround sound, and then maybe some AV support. We'll do some events on the East Coast at the same time. I've got a few now that I can also support people in Los Angeles. If you have any, we'd love to do it with you. We will have free lunch to everyone on behalf of Gary Sneeze Foundation. Free screening of the film for veterans, first responders, active duty family members. I'm a military family member. Afterwards, we're going to have a 2-hour conversation about your experience, facilitated by our facilitators. I'm actually one of the facilitators. And they leave with a free journal. We've had veterans sign up for the first time for conferences in the we had a veteran drive miles in 0-degree weather. Because all of the flight speed, this can tell us that change is life. So it's available all the folks that we would love to bring to Los Angeles. We'll let you see something fortunate enough to show us. I'm going to my purpose. That's all the work that you do. Typically, we do about 100 times 260. We have up down to 200. So I think we did 100 a good size. Hi, you know, there are several in the community around topic. I actually recommend a piece through parts of LA. It is 6 letters that were correspondence from during wartime, but converted into short plays, short stories, and we're going to be putting it up in June, the last week in June. I'm directing this piece, so we're having this evening, and it's a couple of 40-something emails you're interested in. But please, this is the 3rd year that they're doing it. It's a great art piece. Just it's been home, and would love for all of you to come and check.
Okay, that looks like it's everything. So right now, we're gonna let everyone kind of feel like no one wants to get up and dress. They don't want to be that. So go ahead and be that guy and have some coffee. So let's just take a few minutes. Get some clearly what you're doing in your time.
We learned a long time ago. You never have a meeting without coffee.
And I also. Change.
All right, everyone, for the day, we're going to get started. We have quite a few presentations, so you can please find seats again. And so I'm going to do a quick countdown just to get everyone's attention again. If you have any army in the room. Any there's one posting. Marine. Any force today. There's police out. I got them. All right, so I just wanted to talk about
Your winner, everyone, Mark Desmond again. I think you also an amendment not to be named or be named. I would like to recognize someone distinguished from the deployment, my brother in arms. Little Gary is from the deployment from Africa. So thank you, brother.
Did you want to say? Where'd you go? Did you tell?
I'll hold it down.
How long?
For the.
What branch are you? Thank you for your. All right, everyone. So I just want to address a couple of things. I know that we have been shifting around. Expecting person being a little bit not difficult, but new, right? But again, the reason why I've done that is because if you can see here when you get up and you have a conversation, that cannot be done via a Zoom call, right? There's no opportunity to check out, to turn off your camera and that turn the work happening. So that's how we replace that to a person. So that's been graciously into the office space, and we're working through it, right? I do realize that there was some issues with finding. Excuse me. So you have to create a map for us so that we can actually have to know where the thing is in case we things again in the future, which is again. So again, I just wanted to take the time to thank you for showing up in here, thank you for going that traffic on the 105, 210, with the way to get here. We appreciate you. And yeah, we'll make sure that we're working on things. Some of the things that are right, what time breakfast is, where the parking is located, and we'll work through that. Always open to feedback, please, by any means. And if you know of another, so we can meet, or we can look at a collaborative, or we can for over 115 people in 4 meeting rooms, so that we can get our working. Let me know. We've done some rounds to make it convenient for everyone to access throughout. And with that, we can open it up to US vets to give our first presentation today. And again, they are off our face today. So I want to give them a huge round of applause and say thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Timothy Knox, and I am the Development and Communication Manager for UNS Inglewood, and it is my great pleasure to welcome you also to our day. Thank you for coming out. We appreciate all our work that you and your community are better, and we are here to be of a service and be part of the United States as well. We like to walk coming up, and we might love to invite you all out too. We have a resource area where you can go out and find promotion programs and services. I will have some flyers for you shortly before you leave. But also, will be coming up here to you guys our clinical program, the programs and services that we at best offers and how we can best partner with you guys and the vendors that you service as well. So
Morning, everyone. Welcome to the one. We're just so happy to have you guys. Our department consists of case managers who support our veteran and housing plan, supporting the transition into housing. We have a team of strong case managers here who support that process. We also have after services. Once we're better housed, we have case services that's the house. We also have our VSC program aging veterans as well. To support aging veterans into their homes, therapy and support. And then, yeah, so great. Humble to have you guys on our site to learn more about other community partners because it does really take a village to help support our veteran option and to keep them housed and housed. So thank you for being here, guys.
Okay, again, thank you so much, U.S. Vets, for giving us this space, providing us with breakfast. The next presenter is presenting in today because last month we talked about accommodation barriers. We talked a bit about Access LA and guilty was understanding what criteria and what eligibility veterans had. So because of that, we have a representative from us here today and go over some of that information to clarify it to the entire group. So thank you. Trisha,
good morning, everyone. All right. Good morning again. It's such a wonderful pleasure to be here with you all today. Thank you for inviting me. Amy informed that you all had some questions about access, particularly in eligibility. I'm just going to start a little bit on who we are. Oh, we're still getting the screen up here. So Access is a parent agency. We were really created about 40 years ago. And the reason was because back then the buses were not able, they didn't have the list up and down, they didn't have ramps that came out. So like people who traveled on mobile devices get around. So the Federal Transit Administration decided that we need a strategy to help specific individuals who travel mobility devices to get around. Well, of course, I don't know how time you've been on a bus. I think if a bus can drop, they have nice ramps. The drivers are well trained and how to secure individuals who travel on mobility devices. Of course, the use all paratransit agencies, along with the Federal Transit Administration, recognize that there was another group of individuals who also needed this type of service. And so when any of us may see or be familiar with invisible disabilities, and what I mean by that is someone could have maybe osteoporosis. They could have sciatica, neuropathy, things that would make it difficult for them on any given day to get out to a bus stop, travel on the bus, get off the bus to their destination, and then get back home safely. So that's why access is still around. One of the things about access, like I said, we do mirror the fixed route. So wherever a bus stop is in LA County, as well as someone who is 3/4 of a mile away from that bus stop, and 3/4 away from that bus stop, then access for a strip for that individual safety. First shared bus service. That means that at any given time, you can get in a vehicle with one person, 2 people, 3 people, or maybe 5, depending on the vehicle that you're traveling in. Which you have a variety of vehicles in our fleet. One day you may be in a trip and you're in a taxi, the next day you could be on what we call our home master, which is a bit of a bigger van, or you could be in a sedan. It just depends on who you're traveling with, where you're going, and how far your destination is. All right, so let's jump into eligibility. Applying for access. One of the things I encourage is that people contact our customer service department. There are some brochures on the table. And the reason why I say that, I know we have a lot of tech savvy individuals and they do everything online. That's great. But the reason why I say contacting our service department first is beneficial is because times people have already created an account with us and they have forgotten because maybe a social worker helped a little bit. Maybe they did start the process, but they never finished the process. The reason why we want to contact customers first is because they can verify that for you. If you decide to move forward on your own and start everything online first, if you already have an account, it may block you. If you even changed your last name, we can update that for you. Because what can happen is if you submit an application and we see now there's 2 accounts, you get confused on which account to apply the application to. So it's just always better to at least start the process by contacting our customer service department. And all of that information is in the reports and all on our website. In terms of the eligibility, so what people do is complete the application, submit the application, and then 1 to 2 weeks later, and this is why I say 1 to 2 weeks. If it's submitted either via email or send you contact us a week later, because we give a few days, review the application, and make sure that you filled out everything correctly. And then you can annotate your profile, so that way by the time you call in, we will have some updates for you. If you decide to mail the application in, that would need to give us at least 2 weeks for that process. Eligibility, this is a big one. So a lot of people, one of the things Amy and I are discussing is that a lot of people think access is for individuals who are on SSI or they're low income or maybe they just serve the country. Maybe they retired in LA County or the city of LA. They've retired some profession for so many years. And a lot of people think that, hey, now I can just apply for access and I don't get it. Well, remember, the whole purpose of this is help individuals who are not able to travel successfully on a city bus. So you submit your application, and there is the next is an in-person evaluation. Our evaluators are not medical professionals. They're literally trained in assessing an individual's capabilities of running on this route. So when individuals come to our center to be assessed, We actually have about a half-size bus in our facility. We have different types of terrain. We observe people moving down, curb cuts or streets that have no curbs, run terrain, grass terrain, because like I said, we're only assessing the inability to get your home to a stop, or how you get on a bus, pay for your fare, understanding your status, things that our evaluators are looking for. Some people so sometimes my sciatica, I'm using this as an example. Sometimes my sciatica, I need 3 days out of the week, but the other 4 are not. And I always encourage you when you go to the evaluation, if it just happens to be that you are doing okay, share that with the evaluator. Make it clear because they've done everything and all of that in consideration. So once again, eligibility is not based on if it's retired or if it's SSI or if you serve this country. It's literally about inability to travel successfully on face to right. So for the in-person evaluation, there is a 21-day period in which they have to review your application. And if you chose or your clients choose to submit supporting documentation at that time for any federal medical position, all of those things are taken into consideration. Then a decision is made. Once that decision is made, the applicant will receive a welcoming letter. And then about a week or 2 later, they'll receive their access ID card in the mail. So now, let's just say everything went well, you're now a rider. One of the benefits about becoming a rider with access is that when we pick you up, first the difference between us and a bus, we will at least come to the front of your home. We will wait there for you to come out to the vehicle. But just for whatever reason, maybe just a little bit of assistance out to the vehicle. We will help you to the vehicle. However, we will not come into your home. We don't typically help downstairs because we're not metal transportation. Our drivers don't want themselves or the rider any unsafe or any danger because we're not medical transporters. But we will assist you up to speed, getting out of the vehicle and into your destination. That's something that a rider would to request during their time of their reservation trip, which is all instituted for. Another thing about the on the curve, especially for riders who are visually impaired, it's a bit to them as well. Once again, they need to act because our drivers have no access to what our riders are trying to do. They know that they're picking up this person, this driver from this location, and they're taking them to the next location. So when you need beyond the curve or your clients need beyond the curve, they need to request that during the time of their reservation. Another thing about access is we have what we call two. Give me one moment. A reasonable modification. Riders can submit reasonable modifications if, this is just an example. Once again, I talked about individuals with sciatica. Sometimes it's more comfortable for a person for their own health reasons that they always travel in a van. Because when they sit in a taxi, it's too tight. Maybe someone has had a hip surgery or a knee surgery. And so they need a little bit more space to be able to stretch out their legs. That is another benefit to the program. A rider requests for a family if any vehicle in our feet. It can be a specific one type, but it can be a. One of the other misconceptions I like to address about access. Sometimes people think when they become old and they're approved and they have eligibility, and they can ask for things like you living and not. So we can go the whole process, which sometimes can take up to 2 months, depending on how quickly a person is reviewing and checking on their account, how quickly they their in-person evaluation set up. Sometimes it can take up to 2 months. But then what they do is they send a letter and say, yeah, I did get approval, I have eligibility, want to request that I don't travel with anyone. I people only travel with one person. And unfortunately, that request cannot be approved because we are a right service. We're just like the only difference is the person can have a lot less people traveling with you, but we are shared right service. We also get individuals who do all the work for their parents, aunts, a loved one, a neighbor. They go through the entire process and then they may, once they get eligible, they may request, oh, my aunt, my uncle, significant other, my husband, my wife, whoever it is, I'm gonna need a driver to wait until I get home from work, which is about 15 minutes after you're gonna come them off, because they suffer dementia or Alzheimer's. Well, that's not something access can do because you're not in the medical transportation. And a lot of people think, like I said, once they get eligible, they can ask us to do things like that. We also are not able to disperse medication. We have riders who may be traveling at night, but they're gonna be in the vehicle for an hour and a half to 2 hours, and they need medication at 10 o'clock. And people ask us for our drivers to give the patient to the ride. We're not able to do. We will allow others if you need to take medication. You can take the medication while you're on the field, take a sip of water. Sometimes now a lot of our riders travel, if you use our services of dialysis, is eat a little something to make the sugar okay. And all you do is give the driver a signal and get permission to just someone in you're just eating on vehicle because we don't allow that. But if there's some medical reason, you may have a little something to eat. One of the things I always encourage anyone to do is when you go to our website, visit our lifestyle. It has a host of information that help one better understand the program. I tell, don't just apply, learn about the program because it may not be the best service for you. We do have another department that specializes in identifying alternate services, and we also have our Life to Be a Rider. We also have some local transit services. You can choose your city, and then there will be some other options there as well. And so I think that's going to be all for me. I'd love to take some questions if anyone has any.
Sorry, this is a little.
Okay, I didn't want to first speak about it. So, I have an elderly friend who was using Access. She actually gave up on it because the drivers weren't doing. I don't know if that was a long-term issue, short-term issue, what was going on, but, I'm curious if, like, we just have any insight, because, yeah, it got bad.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Whichever had, we have a friend, so the question or statement was, she has a friend, a good friend of her that was using access, but eventually access because the drives weren't showing up. Showing up only because it may happen once when a rider says, not something that consistent. I don't know if she may have needed a location evaluation, so that a driver can literally have a geocode set for her address to make it easier. Some states live in gated communities. Their address is on a main street, but there may be somewhere better where the driver can meet at. Those situations that clients that are facing vehicles or drivers are able to connect with them, contact our customer service, request a location evaluation. And that way we can have a road supervisor go out and assess it and then geo address just for that rider, any other riders that may have difficulties at that specific address. Question?
I've also had that experience with things that I know. Seriously, to get question. Are they allowed to have a person ride with them to their facility?
So in somebody riding them, yes. What I encourage people to do, even those people who are super independent. I have a lot of people that tell me, no, I ever need anyone. And I just encourage in your initial application, there is a question that asks, do you travel with a personal care attendant? But basically that means anyone, anytime. And I tell people to check that, even if you think you're never going to use it. The reason why that is later on, we can add it because it does take a process. So it's better just to have it because when a year from now, something else comes up, your health, may be jeopardized in another way, and you do someone to travel with you. Well, the benefit having that already on your account is that individual can travel with you for free. And that individual can be anyone at any time. You don't have to always have your spouse. You don't always have to have your pride. You don't always have to have it could be a donation because we understand sometimes families make the daughter can do it this week, the son can do it the next week it may be the neighbor. Yes. You can travel with a PCA, that PCA travels for free. If you don't have that on your account, you can look your trip, you and a guest, but that guest would need to pay the fare. There's another question in that.
Good morning, those who are support. What is their expectation of from the time they apply to the time they come to ride share?
Yes, the worst case scenario, 2 months, and the only reason why that is depends on if you want your application mailed out to you, it's time to get it mailed, and then if you're mailing it back, it takes for us to get it, then it takes time for us to review it. Once you call in about 2 weeks from the time you mail it back to check on your account, you should be ready to move forward with your in-person evaluation. Those trips are with a coordination, and so you could call, maybe you call in to get ready to set up an appointment, but your evaluation time wouldn't be tomorrow, it may be next or the week after because we already have so many people scheduled for this week and probably early next week. And then from there, once you have the in-person evaluation, it's another 21 days. So that's why I say up to 2 months. And email your application back on the same day you get the application from our website. Once again, I just encourage the call customer service first. Once they give you your ID number, you have your account established, you get your application, submit that. When you do it online, and when I say online, it's through email portal. When you do that way, it does take time. So a week by the time you submit it, you call, you should be ready to move on with the in-person evaluation, you get that. Now you could be looking anywhere from a month to 6 weeks, first 2 months. So that's what I hope that answers the question. Okay. Any questions?
Great, thank you
There's
so
one
much.
right here.
For the evaluation, do you guys provide transportation if the client not have it?
Great question. Yes. For the evaluation, we will pick the client up from their home, and for that evaluation, the client even travel with one person on that day. I encourage you, even if you're somebody who's in a great mood, you're okay to do it on your own, depending on where you live. So let's just say you live somewhere in the valley. Well, we only have the closest evaluation for the valley would be in the city of Commerce. Well, that would be a bit of a trip somewhere in the valley, the city of Commerce. So I just say book your trip with someone, you don't have to know who it is. And then just someone to go with you, so how to endure that trip on your own by yourself. The other thing I heard bring someone evaluation, because sometimes this person may think of something you may not think of to ask while you're in the evaluation. So I always say 2 people are better than 1. Any other questions? So I believe your question is, what happens if a person needs to get to X airport? Yes, so you can still your trip the same day you will with any other trip. And if I'm not covered, this is my memory is telling me I did. We are a day service. What that means is even if you have a medical appointment or any other appointment, this is a next day service. So you will only be able to look at your trip the day before. So usually when you're flying, you can know in advance. But with action, you would only look at your trip the day before. I always tell people, for example, for a 10-mile trip, you could be in the vehicle, you could be in the vehicle 1 hour and a half. So if you have a flight that leaves at 9, and even though you're like, but I only live 5 miles away from the airport, I would probably book a trip for 6 a.m., 5 a.m. That way, everything's still and it's all over at the airport. Because anything can happen while you're on that. You could be in the vehicle, another rider could get killed, the driver has to pull over. God forbid, we may have to call 911. Yes, we may send another vehicle out depending on the situation, but that takes time. So I always encourage people, especially with LAX trips, book more time than less time. For important medical appointments, same thing. Because these days, doctors do not want to wait. So I always say, book more in advance, get to the doctor's office, check in, and be seen when you're called. Yes, ma'am.
Did the men file your
more hirees, like in regards to transportation. For the hiring process, that's done by our contractors. For the drivers, I do know for sure that I have record, I believe it's for the last 3 to 5 years. And that can be that people interested in applying driver position, there's also have about the age, and then go to contractor employment. There's a career that you fill out, process, fill that out, and then someone will contact about a position. Yes. No, we don't have any leniency, so we don't take preferential treatment, everybody the same, but we encourage our risk of course.
Are people able to hire employees with the day, this is going to the DA and if we get their, I think what about 2, they can get run back.
Excellent question. If your trip, access is not assumed that you need a run. You book your trip to be picked up, you must also book your trip to get back home. The reason why that is because we have a huge population of riders that literally just use service to the event, and then they have a family member, a neighbor, a friend that's gonna pick them up to get them home because maybe the appointment they were at or wherever they were, they want to ride back on access because they know it's a shared service. Sometimes they're a little tired, even after you do your grocery shop, because when you take people to the grocery store, we take people to the bank, the movie theater, you name it. Access is like I said, it's just like the bus. But sometimes after individuals do their grocery shopping, they have a neighbor that's going to pick them up. So that's why we don't assume you need a ride. At the time you're booking your pickup, you must also bring your home.
Last question. From the pickup, location, is there a range as far as riders, are they locked into a certain amount or is it unlimited?
So, and help me make sure that I understand you correctly. For a week anywhere in LA County, a trip that is 90 miles or less, the fare is $2.75. For a trip that is 19.9 miles or more, the fare is $3.50, and that is each day. For a trip that is 0 to 2 miles, you could be in the vehicle up to an hour and 30 minutes. I don't know whether travel times by heart, but that can be found in our ride style. Because for each set of goals that it tell you approximately how much time you could be in the vehicle for.
But no limitation if anywhere throughout LA.
It's anywhere throughout LA County, as long as there's a bus within 3/4 of a mile from where you're being picked up to where you're being dropped off. There are some pockets in LA County that Metro or the other city bus does not operate in because we are not permitted to do those trips either because we have to follow their routes.
Thank you so much. Take the time to contact her, decided to be here, because of eligibility being a big deal, right, for aging. So, thank you so much for taking the time to come here and talk to her. Okay, and then we have one more presenter that's also talking about aging veterans and programs for them. So we have innovators coming in today. They're also the sponsors for our food day. So let's give them a little number one. Thank you.
Good morning and thank you for coming. I want to give a big little shout out to Brother Wood. He's They go to the heart of USF, so I work with them a lot directly. So I did a bring a presentation. I wanted to make it a little bit more shorter to do more questions than anything. So I am a PACE organization, which stands for a program of all inclusive care. I don't like to use the term elderly. I do have some people don't like that term, so I do say 55 plus when it comes to that. Essentially, for all inclusive care for anyone who's 55, what we do is we provide them transportation to and from the center that we have located on dead next position, which is about 15 to 20 minutes away from here. As well as at our center, we provide them breakfast and lunch, so they're to them on a daily basis with fresh food. Addition, they can meet when each one of them do have to meet with them to go out. And in regards to at the center, also provide activities. As something we do every day. Dominoes. We have an aerobic instructor that goes. Drum classes where we're getting the bar around to haircuts as well as just a space where they can social workers, socialization, but it's so there's actually a component to it. That facility that we have upstairs actually has physical therapy, occupational therapy. We do have a dentist that comes in, optometrist, audiology, podiatry, versus them in line to get lab work done, we can have their lab work drawn there. They do get to meet with a PCP, which is their primary care doctor. So this is primary care doctor's business in dermatology. So essentially what we're doing is we're trying to come up with a care to have them stay living long for as long as possible for the utilization they need. When it comes to at home, the types of support we do provide them is we go ahead and send them for their medications and prescriptions and in-home support services provided for them. So it's task-based service. Those type of task-based services, whether it be mopping, cleaning, washing clothes, we are able to for them there. We have a personal care area if they don't want to be bathed in their home. We also have them bathed in the center when they go there. When it comes to how frequently you have to go to the center, it's up to them. They can go once a week, they can go once a month. It really depends on what their needs are, what they want to do. A lot of people, especially some just stay home and they don't have places to go. So it's a great piece of life. We do have a lot of friends in our country now, so they also get to see their college and friends and, just socialize on a daily basis and each other more other people are about. So essentially we're providing them all when it comes to just providing them all the services they need living in their home. The main focus of the program is stop the folks who feel their facility. The best way to do so is to provide them all these services. So in regards to how the program is funded, it is provided in-house. So if they don't have in-house, we could enroll them onto Med-Cal. We do have an authorized representative that will do their paperwork and enrolls every determination every year. When it comes to Med-Cal, the state board is to get approved. If a veteran or participant has a share cost in a range, I can tell you how now is a $3 share cost. And we will to waive that within our program, pay into it. So essentially, there's nothing they're paying out of pocket for it. There's just paying the bills. When it comes to their appointment specialist, we provide that as well and work directly with your Sinai with that who we are contracted with. So essentially, we're providing them all the care, including medical, durable equipment they need. So if they need a water, a shower chair, we can go ahead and provide them those whatever it may be. We essentially provide it because they can stay in their homes, including I've had some cases where we've installed rails or the shower rails to help out too with any slips and falls. So if they don't answer our phone call, we do wellness room as well with their social worker. So basically that's what the program is in gist. And if anyone has any questions, you guys are welcome now. Yes.
We have offices in the Inland Empire.
Yes, we do. The question was if we have any offices in the Inland Empire. We do. And I can provide that information to connect you with after the Woodward Center over there in San Francisco. Any other questions? Awesome. So I will pass it back on. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to go into our working groups. So if you are going to be participating in housing and homeless, that presentation is going to take here. If you are not planning to participate in our working group, please exit area. And if you have personal presentation networking, please, that's why we're here. We have this beautiful courtyard to do stuff. If you are going to be meeting with the women that are working group, the one that door down on the middle walkway. You can come here to the right, all the way down that. If you're here for the library entry, if you're looking over here, right, the blue? Yes, so right over here, where you can do the legal and entry. If you're here for the social relationship working group, there's Dr. Kathy Cash. You can follow that lady, and there's another door right here on the right hand side, and that is where you're going to be meeting. Our better transition information working group is not meeting today. Our co-chairs are unfortunately unable to attend for health reasons or work reasons. So we're going to be meeting that working group today, but please feel free to be in these working groups. Officially, I take note. If you want to meet unofficially, you can be here for the better information talking about our education, our career management, behavioral health, that's going to be meeting, out here in the career to go ahead and do your if you want to meet unofficially. That group is fun, so again, thank you so much for being here, thank you for participating, and please, if you're able to stay, please stay for the working groups. But the meetup today is what we do here. Thank you.